Nope, shit. Why are you like this? I just wanted to check to make sure the post was live. Okay, hang on. Oh. YouTube connection is showing is live. Chat is working. OBS is showing solid connection. Discord notification posted. Do one more quick check. Yep, okay, we're good. We're good. All right. All right, all right, all right, all right. All righty then. All righty then. Hello, 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 hello. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I decided to start a little early today. I wasn't sure if anyone was going to be awake. It is the weekend, but I know we all keep different hours. But as I hadn't finished this game yet, and on the last stream I was talking with Baron, apparently I'm really close to the end of the game. According to Baron, I'm more or less 3 to 5 streams away from the end of the game, depending on how quickly I go through them and all that fun stuff. So I figured let's start it early today and get things going, because I'm going to be busy. Hopefully it's going to stay busy, and then after the beginning of next month, things will start to settle down and I'll have a more concrete schedule in mind. What I'm looking at, if everything goes well, it'll be like basically Saturdays and Sundays. Pacific American West Coast Standard. So basically it'll be more or less America Pacific West Coast PST Standard Time. It'll be Saturday mornings and Sunday mornings. But I'll also have more time available during the week to do like shorter streams. So it's going to be a little weird. The Saturday and Sundays, my time, will be the days that I have time for a lot longer streams and whatnot. But I will definitely be a lot less stressed, a lot less overworked than previously. So it's going to be a trade-off. It'll be interesting. Fingers crossed, though. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Is the picture down in the right is the stand-in for your avatar? It will go. Have faith in yourself. I have faith in many things. No, the picture in the bottom right, that's Mordred. That's an AI image generated of Mordred. And it was it turned out really well. I was actually really amused by it. All right, we'll give it another minute or two. Just in case. Just in case. I'll give people time to show up. Yeah. Well, I mean, it's I've done 1 in-person interview and 2 over-the-phone interviews. I'm an optimistic person as well, but never assume. Never assume. Always have a plan B. Alrighty. Well, the announcements have gone out. Check the audio levels one more time. Yep. Everything looks good. Well, if they're not here by now, that sounds like a them problem. Let's go. It's always good. It's always good. You're only gonna hurt yourself assuming it's the put your eggs into one basket. And obviously every culture, every nation, every people has a different version of that. But I know it as never put your eggs in one basket. I want to say it was like Japan or Korea or China. They have something that's kind of similar, but it's not literally that phrase, putting all your eggs in one basket or something like that. It's kind of funny how you can go to different cultures in the world and it's like the same concept, but it's literally put differently. Like, don't put both your feet in the same shoe or something weird like that, and you're like, well, that's a weird thing, but then it's like, yeah. All right. Let's see what the fallout is for throwing our best friend under the bus. It was the morning of Olivia's trial, and the hordes of reporters were gathered in front of the state courthouse. Peter, Lucien, and I stood by the entrance. Lucien had helped break the news of my secretary's arrest. Now, the media was beginning to question exactly how a Rumberg agent had been able to infiltrate the Maroon Palace. It was time for me to deliver an explanation. A podium with a bank of microphones awaited us on the courthouse steps. Peter looked uncertain. I told him I would be doing all the talking today. Remember what we talked about, Mr. President. How could I forget? I was about to blame my best friend for a scandal that would otherwise shatter my administration. Peter hadn't said a word to me since I broke the news to him in my office. Together, we stepped behind the podium. The reporters clustered around us and started shouting questions. Please, settle down. As you are aware, Levi Suno, former secretary for the president of Swordland, is currently being tried for espionage. As you are aware, Ilana Vance, the Rumberg spy who poses my secretary, is currently on trial for espionage. Oof. Rest assured, the traitor shall be brought to justice. Rest assured, Rumberg will be made to answer for its latest affront to our great country. Rest assured, a security breach of this magnitude shall never happen again. However, the fact remains that she should never have been allowed to infiltrate our administration in the first place. However, the fact remains that she should have never been allowed access to sensitive government information. That she did can be directly traced to the carelessness of one man, Peter Vectern. She did so by exploiting the weaknesses of Vice President Peter Vectern. The journalist gasped and murmured. Peter turned to face me, his mouth hanging open. Mr. Vectern's willingness to put his own infantile desires over Swordland's security has made him a threat to the state. Mr. Vectern's recklessness, to say nothing of his betrayal of Swordish values, has disgraced my administration. Therefore, the Vice President shall be trialed for his shameful actions against the state. If found guilty, he will be imprisoned. Take him. Therefore, the Vice President has tendered his resignation, effective immediately. So we can send him to jail, or just he's resigning. It's the best I can do for you, Peter. Sorry, man. You knew what you were doing. Never stick your dick in crazy, or in anything other than your wife. And if you do, always have an alibi. The clamor of reporters was growing louder. Peter seemed to shrink behind the podium, his charisma failing him at last. That's it then. No going back from this. The reporters were becoming hard to ignore. One woman in the front row looked particularly insistent. Mr. Vectern. Goodbye, Peter. You were a good friend. We had so many good times. I can't do anything to help you. Let Peter take the question. I will be answering all questions on the Vice President's behalf. What to do? Go ahead, Peter. Can you give us a comment on your resignation? No. President Rain just about uncovered it. I'm a terrible vice president and a worse husband. And a sad old drunk. Are you implying that you and the covert agent posing as President Rain's secretary were engaged in intimate relations? Excuse me. Relations? Yes. Intimate? I thought so at the time. Lucian interjected. Neither the president nor the vice president will be taking any more questions. Thank you. The reporters reluctantly dispersed. Lucian, Peter, and I looked at each other for what seemed like an eternity. Finally, Peter lowered his eyes. I guess I'll go to the palace and start packing my things then. I'll come with you. Goodbye, Peter. Nah, can't send him off like that. I'll come with you. Peter shook his head. I watched him descend the courthouse, steps to his car, alone. A shame about your friend, Mr. President. But it appears you will make it out of this unscathed. No, of course. There's now the matter of replacing both your secretary and your vice president. Too soon. I have a few candidates in mind. You're a little old to be my secretary, Lucien. Well, let's just cut to the chase then. Very funny, sir. We walked back up the stairs to the courthouse to watch the rest of the trial. It was here, the day I'd been dreading since Peter's resignation. At the entrance to my office, my new secretary, Sylvia, took my hat and coat. She was a matronly woman in her 40s. She had a spotless background assisting various Maroon Palace officials. Replacing Livia had been easy, but replacing my vice president would be difficult. Swedish law dictated that if a vice president failed to complete his term, new candidates were to be put forward by the members of the cabinet. After much deliberation, the list had been narrowed down to 3. Lucien Galad was the frontrunner, followed by Gloria Torrey and Albin Clavin. It was up to me to decide who would fill Peter's shoes. I wanted to chat with them one by one before making my decision. I had just begun to settle my desk when I heard a knock at the door. Lucien entered and perched on the chair across from me. "Sir, you know why you're here. So, Vice President Galad, what do you think?" "All right, Lucien. You're one hell of a strategist. But why should I make you VP?" Hang on. I think that's the... Yeah, I think that's... Lucien for VP. Well, he's a smart, capable man who is very dependable and very upright. So what do you think? 1, 2, or 3? You know why you're here. So Vice President Galad, what do you think? All right, Lucien. You're one hell of a strategist. Why should I make you VP? I mean, who are the candidates? We got Lucien, Gloria, and Albin. Gloria was... Oh yeah, she's the, she's like the Margaret Thatcher of the game, as I recall. Albin Clavin is the USP guy. Three? Alright, Lucian. You're one hell of a strategist, but why should I make you VP? It is precisely in my capacity as a strategist that I have evaluated the experience and capabilities of your potential vice presidents. Objectively, I am by far the most qualified candidate. I would advise you to not only think about our long history together, but also the many crises I have helped shepherd you through. I won't say much beyond that. I believe my work speaks for itself. You're such a valuable strategist. I don't know if I can afford to lose you in that capacity. I don't know. The public might gossip about your lack of a wife. You wanted Peter's job from day one. How do I know you won't try to have me ousted next? 1 second. Quick break. 1 second. Like 1 minute, maybe. Well, number 3 is no. That's accusatory. And he's been loyal, so I mean, you'd have to be a really distrusting asshole to at this point be accusing Lucian of being an evil person. So basically it's a coin flip between 1 and 2. I don't know if I can afford to lose you in this capacity, but we're really not losing him. I mean, his current position is what now? Chief Strategist. So as a VP, he could probably still kind of do the same thing. So I don't know about losing. I think you're right. I don't know. The public might gossip about your lack of a wife. Considering where Peter Vectern's proclivities got us, a vice president who's wholly uninterested in matters of the flesh would be a refreshing change. Am I going to put my gameplays in a playlist? Sure. I was thinking about it. It's why I started actually naming my games with the brackets. Lucian got up from his chair. I expect you will make the right decision. He left my office. Just a minute later, there was another knock at the door, and Gloria Tori came in. Mr. President, I must say, I was not surprised at all when my name was put forward. Why were you not surprised? You seem confident. So, Gloria, tell me why I should pick you. I am Mr. President. To put it simply, what I bring to the table is years of experience. I've been a member of the Assembly for almost 20 years, and I spent 7 years as its Speaker. This alone speaks for itself. And as you know, I am also the spokesperson of the party, as well as the leader of the Conservative wing. You can see what I'm getting at. Tell me, what are you getting at? Your experience would be a great asset. You become the vice president, and I get the votes from the Conservatives. You tried to block my reform proposal, Miss Tory. Why would I pick you as my VP? Tell me, what are you getting at? Well, I will be blunt. Being the leader of the Conservative wing means that if I am the vice president, you would have more votes. This would allow us to pass bills far more easily, especially if those bills are aligned to my bloc's causes. I will think about it. There is no us, Gloria. We are already aligned. I want you to know that I value order over everything else, Mr. President. Being the Speaker of the Assembly requires principles, nerves like steel, and determination to uphold proper conduct. You can expect to see the same of my vice presidency. You being a woman could also prove dangerous, advantageous. I'm not so sure. I don't think Swordland's ready for a female vice president. You being a woman could prove advantageous. So the DEI angle, or DIE angle, diversity, inclusion, equity, die. I'm not so sure. I don't think Swordland. So basically, either number 1, confirm, or 2. I'm gonna go with 2. Think about the message it would send. The first woman vice president of Swordland. No, the first woman vice president in the whole continent. What support you would lose among traditionalists, you would gain tenfold among Swordish women. There is much to gain from selecting me, Mr. President. I believe we will make the right choice. That will be all for now. Thank you. You are right. There is much to gain. I will consider it. I'd rather not align myself with the conservative wing. Thank you. I wish you a nice day, Mr. President. Gloria made her way out. A minute later, there was another knock at the door. This time, it was Albin Claven's turn. Greetings, Mr. President. It's a great honor to have been chosen as a candidate. Really terrific. Let's talk. I'll be straightforward. Why should I pick you? It certainly is. As you know, I represent the reformist wing of the party. What Swordland needs today is not only to catch up with our more modern neighbors, but to surpass them. I believe we can do that. No, I am sure. However, this will only be possible if we set aside our differences and unite as one. And that is the outlook I wish to bring to the position of Vice President, so that Swordland can excel and soar to new heights. I did not ask about your opinions. What can you provide me with? Very idealistic. I like it. Nonsense. Swordland thrives on tradition. Striving for modernity will get us nowhere. Well, that would be a very weird thing to say, considering we're running as a reformist. Very well. The fact is, if I am vice president, reformist members of our party will be more likely to support you and your causes. This will smooth the passage of bills and will help move our administration and our country forward in record time. That makes sense. If you join the administration, that is. I don't think that's likely. I agree completely. How did the press conference go? Shimulogo? Want to catch Baron up? I'll give you the ultra condensed summary. Peter is gone. No. No, Peter was resigned. We had him resign. Yeah, more or less he was fired, and he said he was a bad husband and a philanderer, I think. Yeah, he didn't snap or anything like that. So, I mean, if there's some extreme variant to the press conference, I don't think we got that. We did the press conference that he was obviously expecting. Move this darn thing out of the way. Oh, that's much better. Okay. Yeah, nothing really extreme happened though. If you go full Stalin, you can make Peter. Oh yeah, so I think the big choice that I noticed that was kind of extreme was that we could have him arrested. I remember that part. And instead of having him arrested, I was like, nah, he's just gonna resign. But I think He knew it was coming, obviously. We knew it was coming. I wonder what that would have been like. Getting your best friend and best vice president and confidant arrested. Just like, what? Did you blame yourself a bit during the conference? I think I avoided any language that was like, it's all Peter, it's all Peter, it's all Peter. I kind of went with a lot of the neutral language that was like, you know, this thing happened, and this spy and whatever else. I avoided stuff that was like, it's all the vice president, it's all the vice president, it's all Peter. We'll see. I hope I did it right. I think I did, didn't I? Is it too late to reset? I think it is too late to reset, because if I reset, it's just going to go back to the vice president selection. Right? That's where it's going to go, right? Load last checkpoint. Oh yeah, it's already saved. It's too late now. It's far too late now. If you join the administration, that is. I don't think that's likely. As unlikely as it is, we all must try. And now what this country needs is more dynamic, useful leadership. Look at you, President Rain. You became the youngest member of the Assembly and completely rejuvenated swordish politics. I want to do the same. We need to be able to take risks, to make gains, and that is only possible with a forward-looking perspective. There, I've stated my case. I trust your judgment. That will be all for now. Thank you. Thank you. I will consider what you said. Aligning myself with the reformist wing does not seem like the way forward. I don't think you have a chance, Mr. Clavin. But why? Why pick Gloria? I like our boy, Lucian. He's our boy. Lucian, best boy. That'll be all for now. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. Albin got up and left. I leaned back in my chair, thinking about the pros and cons of each of my vice presidential candidates. I could almost hear Peter's voice in my head, laughing at the absurdity of my situation. Of course, he wasn't there. I was sitting in my office. I looked at the clock. 2:26 p.m. It was almost time for my appointment with Ciara on women's rights. There was a knock at the door. Ciara entered the room with the folders in her hand. The door did not close behind her. Monica entered the room and stood next to Ciara. Mr. President, Anton, before we start, I just wanted to thank you for agreeing to this meeting. I've been dreaming about this ever since I volunteered with the Swordish League of Women. I can't believe the moment's finally here. Anything to make you happy. I think both of you together could finally bring change to Swordland. I hope you thought this through. Real change requires carefully considered plans. Damn. One is kind of sarcastic. Let's see. Oof. 2 and 3 are very different responses. Let's go with number 3. I hope you thought this through. Real change requires carefully considered plans. We did. Ciara sat down on a chair and laid down the folder she was holding. We still have a long way to go before the Swordish women are able to enjoy the same rights and privileges as men, or even their counterparts in Arcasia and United Cortana. We've been lagging behind on this for decades, Anton. And this isn't only a moral issue. I've seen enough revolutions in this world to understand the main driver of any change. Money. She flipped the folder open and started pulling out documents. In United Cortana, law dictates that women earn the same wages as men in their respective fields. My research shows that this has led to a 15.5% increase in productivity. You could say this has had a direct influence on their superpower status. Communists. That's the communist nation, right? Cortana. Where is Cortana? Oh wait, no. It's no. Cortana isn't the communist nation. It's the other one, isn't it? It's oh yeah, it's the one, isn't it? Yeah, I don't know about that. That's assuming a lot. That assumes correlation equals causation. I thought you were smarter than that, Ciara. Now comes the question. Your wife, your economy, or your budget? Arcasia passed laws ensuring maternity leave rights, child daycare centers, and tax deductions for working families. In turn, they experienced a 12.6% productivity boost and a flourishing economy. Oh, they are the fucking commies. Well, Both countries also have a significantly lower infant mortality rates, a statistic I believe is directly linked to the improved status of women. Again, more correlation does not equal causation, especially when you all should know the government is manipulating numbers, statistics. If I say 5 people walked into a building, if I'm a member of the government or a member of the big media, you should ask yourself, did 5 people walk into a building? Did they all walk into the same building? What building was it they walked into? When did they walk into that building? Where, etc., so on and so forth. It's easy to play with the numbers. Example, this is one of the funniest things, right? It's like, and I'm sure that people outside of America have things that they would basically point back at us, and fair enough. But this is one thing that I love as an American to know about other nations, that they downplay like suicides and that sort of thing as accidental deaths, right? Well, he might have jumped off a bridge, but we don't know that he wanted to kill himself. Oh, bruv, we didn't know that he wanted to kill himself, right? Oh, we didn't know he wanted to top himself. Hey, what, pick, pop, whoop, whoop, whoop. Well, maybe he just fell off the bridge, eh, mate? Well, it's accidental, mate. It's accidental, isn't it? It's accidental. Pip, 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 cheerio. Up, up, up. Silly, extreme example, but the point being, statistics, manipulation of numbers, easy to do. All you have to know is how to shuffle things around. Or as one of our more infamous political figures, Bill Clinton, said, well, you have to tell me what is. I mean, before I can even comment on what any of that means, you have to tell me what the definition of is really means. I mean, what is. The news literally said that their economy had a 25% tank after those reforms. To be frank, some retard, drunk, Brit, I fall off a bridge. Well, yeah, but I'm saying, you know, it's how they manipulate things, the numbers. So saying like 12% and like 15% and whatever else, I'm like, yeah, but really, do we really think that it's that good over there? It's like the same thing like nowadays. How many people are like literally trying to run the North Korean borders to get into North Korea or other similar nations, right? To get in there because it's so profitable. I'll put it to you this way, right? If there was a place in the world that had an immortality pill, all you have to do is get into that nation, right? Into the borders. And once you're inside that magical line that goes around the borders of that place, once you're inside those borders, they are obligated to give you an immortality pill. It will cure all disease. It will make you immortal. And I don't know, there's some stipulation that, you know, you are legally obligated to be provided a certain amount of monetary funds that you're not going to be rich, but you'll be immortal, well taken care of, and you'll have a stipend of money. All of that being said, would you not Okay, which is more likely? If that's true, if that were true, which is more likely? Would you be trying to get in to North Korea, assuming that's where the immortality pill is? Would you be fighting harder to get into North Korea? Or would you be fighting harder to get out of North Korea? Which is more likely? I'm not saying right or wrong. I'm saying if there was an immortality pill that made you healthy, that made you immortal, and you were guaranteed to have a certain stipend of money, if that is where it was, are you more likely to be trying to get into or out of North Korea? Are you more likely to be trying to get into or out of Cuba? Which is more likely? I think we all know. Well, it's better than being dead. I'm just saying. For all of the other negatives, and I mean, there's no saying that the pill, you know, maybe it's a one-time pill thing, right? I mean, even if you have any doubts, let's say something like, okay, let's say the money is dependent entirely upon the North Korean state. Okay, so if you jump the border, you get into North Korea, you get the immortality pill, the now you're healthy pill, and then they're offering you a stipend of money for the rest of your existence. But then you decide, nah, I mean, I like being immortal, I like being healthy, but I don't like, you know, I don't like being in North Korea, so I want to go somewhere else. And even though it's illegal for me to leave North Korea, I'm immortal now, so what the fuck are they going to do to me? I'm just going to leave. Well, okay. You don't have that infinite money anymore. And I mean, you raise a fine point, actually. You actually raise a fine point. That's actually almost biblical. That reminds me of a quote from Castlevania. What would a man give in exchange for his soul? Well, yeah, but I mean, going into a bigger social science, not social, a bigger scientific debate, given that we're all basically more or less facing the heat death of the universe, there's no such thing as immortality. The universe is basically just going to become a bunch of spread out atoms, too distant from each other to do anything. At least that's the trajectory we're on, so... Anyway, let's get back to the game. We are an hour ahead of schedule as far as the usual broadcast time, but we are almost an hour into the game. Well, that's a great question. What happens if we throw Wolverine into a volcano? Anyway. All this was a big derail into just me saying I don't buy into statistics and numbers and government whatevers. And my wife should be smart enough to not buy into the bullshit either. So we'll see. If I end up losing her over her inability to see the forest for the trees, well then... Well, she can't go back and unhave the kids, can she? I guess it's time to trade up for a younger, smarter woman. Our administration has thus far failed to pull Swordland out of its economic recession. Hey, look at the chart. Line go up. Or at least line is slightly going up. She leaned back in her chair. So I am asking, why not try passing similar laws? At worst, even if they fail to improve the economy, it'll still be a significant step forward for our society. It's only logical. I don't like that. I don't like you saying that. Monica handed me one of the documents. It had a list of bullet points on it. The two of us talked it over, and these are the measures we believe are most urgently needed. I let my eyes wander down the list. Criminalizing domestic violence, well, I mean, that should already be criminalized. Support for working mothers, not exactly against that. Equal treatment in the workforce. So, if I fire a man because he is unable to do the job that he signed up for, am I able to fire a woman for doing exactly the same thing? Is that the equality we're talking about? Gender equality in public education. Well, I mean, this is not gonna end well, is it? Baron is easy to be a jerk to Moma, but nice to Diana. Criminalizing domestic violence? I shouldn't have to tell you how crucial this is. It is utterly unbelievable that in this day and age, swordsmen are legally allowed to beat their wives. I'm gonna stop you right there. They shouldn't have to beat their wives. Trigger warning if you don't have a fucking sense of humor. Here it comes. If you're one of those pathetic people that needs a trigger warning, here comes a joke. And you're not gonna like it. Alright, go back to TikTok, Instagram, YouTube Shorts, or whatever. You're not gonna like what comes next. They shouldn't have to beat their wives. She should have listened the first time. Oh, he went there. He went there. It's a fucking joke. All right. I hate that we live in a world where I have to couch it that hard, because there's gonna be some asshole out there that's gonna clip that like whole 5 seconds where I said that and act like that was the whole bit of it. You know, it wasn't a joke. It clearly wasn't intended and telegraphed as a joke. No. Here's Squid saying that like he literally endorses, you know. I just wish I could make the joke and be done with it. But anyways, I'm never going to apologize or back down for making jokes. So I'm going to say right here, right now, fuck you people in the future who come back to this point and are like, oh my god, ew, he's so ew. Fuck you. Why do kitchens have windows? I agree, it is a travesty. Bitch should have listened the first time. What families do in their own homes is none of our concern. So when we get... Oh, fuck. I just want you both to know we're all canceled. You know, Tumblr, Reddit, Twitter. Well, lefty Twitter. I mean, not lefty Twitter is going to be laughing about it later at some point. But at some point in the future, lefty Twitter is going to be like, oh, these awful people laughing at these jokes. Yeah, these jokes. These jokes. Because domestic violence didn't exist before we started making jokes in 2024. Get the fuck out of here. So I think I'd have to be fair and say that it's a travesty. I'm happy we're on the same page. As incidences are especially high within bluish communities. Oh shit. I would also advocate for setting up a special domestic violence task force in collaboration with bluish women's rights. Wait. Aren't the bluish ones the terrorists? The ones that are coming in as immigrants into Swordland? So the fact that they're coming in as immigrants into Swordland and that they're domestic abusers. I'm loving this game. The more and more I've played this game, the more and more I love it. Well, yes, they're technically also native to Swordland, but we've seen that they're a big, how to put it. I would say it feels to me more like a parallel of like the South Americans coming into America. This is what it kind of feels like to me. I'm not saying anything about anything. I'm not trying to cast aspirations on anybody, but I am saying that in this fictional world representation, to me, the way it feels is like a lot of the people, them there immigrants here coming in digging their jibs. But it's like the people that come in and they don't want to speak Swordish, right? We need to have a fucking law passed so that you have to be able to speak Swordish in fucking Swordland. Why? Because people are coming in thinking that they're gonna, oh, I'm entitled to be here in Swordland, but I'm not gonna be able to speak the fucking language. I'm not gonna be able to read the fucking language. I want to be there. Imagine somebody being like, oh, I need to be able to go to the bottom of the ocean, but I don't need to be able to withstand the crushing pressures of being at the bottom of the ocean or being able to breathe. What is that thinking? This is where the rule. Every stream is a Squid cooking stream. Not always. There are many exceptions, but stuff like this. Anyway, let's get back to finishing the game. Blue. I mean, it's a great game. And I'm just interpreting things based on my own personal views of the world, based on current world reality. It's a great story. But it's just the reality of the world versus the story is making me laugh so hard. They should still learn Swordish. Are you sure that's something we ought to focus on? The Bloods are different. They have their own rules. Monica, I'm surprised at you. We can't let women suffer under the patriarchy, no matter their ethnicity. Oh shit. And right there the alliance is already starting to fall apart. Those wife abusing bloods. But you know, their culture is different than ours. I mean, we can't pass judgment on those wife beaters because, you know, in their culture, if a woman goes out and she doesn't wear the "don't rape me" hat, pretty much that's telling every man in like a 500-mile radius, "Oh baby, I want it. Do whatever you want to me, and bring your friends too, and then stone me to death afterwards." Yeah, I don't think I'm okay with just saying, well, it's their culture to beat women. I don't like that. Monica! God damn it, Monica! I thought you were better than this. How are you gonna turn around at this hour and be like, well, we can't pass judgment on them. It's just their culture to be able to beat their wife. Fuck them. They need to conform to our laws. If they don't like it, they can get the fuck out. All right. 2 and 3 are probably the answers I want to go with. I will fucking interfere in their bullshit. So 2 is like, they must conform. 3 is, I'm not sure criminalizing domestic violence is a good idea. And again, going back to real world examples, this is actually a double-edged sword. It is good to make it illegal to abuse your domestic partner. On the other hand, what we've seen, at least in America, particularly, is that this is exploited a lot of times by the so-called victim, right? So in a lot of instances in America, a woman and a man will be together, dating, cohabitating, maybe not married, maybe married or whatever else. If they call the cops and say there is a domestic incident, someone's got to leave the property, and not only that, someone has to go to jail. Right? This is the problem with the whole domestic violence thing, right? So overall, theoretically, it's a great idea. It really is a great idea. But on the other hand, it's like, is it though? Fuck 'em. It's the law. You betrayed the law. This should be a quick one. Just say yes to all the info. Nothing else matters in this conversation. Well, yes, but I'm trying to provide content. Why are we trying to speed run? This is the first time I've played this game. This is the first time I've gotten this far. Alright, support for working mothers. Alright, fine. Fine. We'll speed run. Look, we're just gonna click through everything. Monica got her monkey's paw wish, didn't she? Just not consciously. Oh, shit. Really, Monica? Really? The one thing that I am willing to see eye to eye with Ciara on, now you're gonna step in and have a problem with it? Maybe boys should learn handicrafts. Hey! Hey! Home ec was good for me. I learned how to work a fucking oven. I learned how to mend my own clothes. That's actually a fucking great idea, Ciara. Monica, come on! Monica! You're on board with this, right? Monica burst out laughing. Imagine Frank in an apron! Squid's version of Anton goes back in time, remembering himself mending his own clothes. We've had this conversation, Ciara. I'm entirely on his side. We can't force schools to what to teach whom. I'm siding with Ciara. Sounds like a you problem, Monica. I'm not sure I can risk passing laws these close to the election. These laws would result in greater productivity, a better economy, and happier women. To be frank, Mr. President, you would have to be a fool not to pass them. If we can pull this off before the elections, the Reign administration will make history. Let's talk about how to proceed. I want to establish a commission for women's rights in Swordland with me as its head. Of course. Of course. I mean, who else is as qualified as you to be head of this women's rights Swordland thing? Well, I can't think of a single person more qualified than you. Our goal should be passing and implementing a set of laws to solve the problems we just discussed. As the Commission's spokeswoman, my responsibility will be to make speeches and organize fund... Really? You just want the fucking cushy job, Monica? You make these big scenes and you act like you want to be the face of something, and now you're just like, your responsibility, if we can even call that, is making speeches and organizing fundraisers? Really? Really? Where is that determination? Where is that fire? Where is that need for change? To be the face of change, the heart of change, the beating soul of a new Swordland, Monica. I can understand why Peter cheated on his wife now. Oh, I went there. If I could show that the First Lady is behind this movement, many women will feel encouraged. Well, good for them. Good for them. Ciara gestured down at her outfit. Especially those who aren't keen on pantsuits. The organization's name will be Commission on the Status of Women. It's going to be damn hard getting your laws past the Assembly. What do you need the Commission for? I'll run your laws past the Assembly. So I'll do it for you. Sometimes in order to enact feminism, you need a real man to get it done for you. It's going to be damn hard getting your laws past the Assembly. I'm almost tempted to go with 2 just based on how funny it would be. Alright, ladies. I'll do it for you. Alright. Okay. Okay, you beat the man into doing it for you. Fuck it, let's go. Even if that's successful, you'll still need the Commission to ensure laws are successfully implemented. Oh, now we're gonna talk about sense. Now we're gonna argue about reality. Is this one of those woman moments where you just keep telling me, no, it's fine, no, it's fine, I don't have a problem, it's nothing, and then all of a sudden, after all that sighing, after hours and hours of me trying to play video games and just being like, now you're like, well, I just wanted to talk, like, hours ago, but you just kept ignoring me. After all that, like, you know, the reality of me, like, being like, hey, what's going on? Are you okay? I'm fine. I'm fine. Alright, I'm tired of listening to you too. I'm tired of listening to you too. I will approve of the creation of the commission and support your bill in the assembly. Sorry, but the answer is no. You can try and run your laws by the assembly, but they'll get no support from me. No, I can't do it. Can't do it. Then all is lost for the future of women in Swordland. Your female constituents will remember you as a failure, and so will I. She looked at Monica, who was silent for a moment. How do I explain this to Diana? Once she's old enough to understand, how do I tell her about all the opportunities that she could have had, that her own father denied her? If she ever comes to me and asks about it, I'm going to tell her about how you laughed at the idea of Frank in an apron. Yeah. And if you want to keep pushing it, I'll tell her about how you were like, well, bloods beating up their wives. Well, that's just their culture, isn't it? It may be against the law, but it's their culture. It's their culture. We can't do anything about it. Yep. Without waiting for my answer, she pushed her chair aside and stormed out. Sierra followed suit, and I could hear the two of them talking angrily as the door closed behind them. I sagged back in my chair and exhaled. It was a clear day outside, but the perfect view over Holsart provided little comfort. I will not make exceptions for fucking domestic abusers. I'm sorry, Monica. I love you. You've been my wife and my partner for a long time. But if I'm gonna get divorced and hated for anything, it's gonna be standing up for what's right. I will not make exceptions for people who abuse their wives. You can't do it anyway. You can only vote, veto, or pass it all. I know, but, you know, you've been watching this long enough. I kind of semi-am role-playing it, too. League of Women donation. Vice President selection. Okay, this is the one that matters. So, I know Barron said we should pick Gloria for the conservative vote. I want to pick Lucian, because Lucian is our boy. And his first play through the game, I want to be loyal to our boy. Lucian is important if you're corrupt. I see. Okay. So, so Lucian is like, I like Lucian though. I see where you're arguing, and you're arguing well. It makes sense, and I agree. So who is our worst concern right now? Well, we're not corrupt. So unfortunately, even though I love Lucian, he's unnecessary at this point. We're being reformist, so a lot of the libs, progressives are on our side. So, I don't want to side with Margaret Thatcher. Actually, I don't really have a problem with Margaret Thatcher. I'm just saying it as a joke. So I don't think we need Albin. So it's either Lucian or Gloria. Actually, I like losing the primaries and forming my own party. So you're a fan of Theodore Roosevelt, are you? You like being part of the Bull Moose Party? All things being equal, do I have a coin handy? I think all my challenge coins are out right now. Let me see. Do I have a coin app on my phone? I'll flip a coin. It's so funny to see the USB getting shredded after making Graf their candidate, and the NFP get kicked from Parliament because of that. All right, so D20. We're gonna roll a D20. Odds or evens. Odds, we pick Gloria. Evens, our boy Lucian. Or do we pick the other way? Odds Lucian, evens Gloria. Too late. I rolled already. Evens is Lucian. We're going with Lucian. I don't have money, do I? Oh, I do. The most influential women that's an NGO, the Source League of Women, is Socrates' massive fundraising campaign. Reservoirs reached out to us personally for private donations. No donation, damnation. Is that gonna help anything though? The feminist vote? Is that worth wasting money on? You get a 1 PB from your profits from your property. Is it worth it though? That's what I'm asking. It calms Monica and the femmes. Alright. We'll calm them down. Start a day at the palace. Lucien and I were on our way to my office. I was holding a mug of coffee in one hand and a folder of various documents in the other. As we turned a corner, Lucien spoke. The Ashraf anniversary is coming up soon. The most important day for the British populace. Watani Ashraf is one of their symbols, as you know. Your presence at this event would show your desire for a more unified Swordland. We will reap the benefits if you decide to go, I am sure. I don't want to cause further division among the swords because of this. Why should I attend a British anniversary? You are right. Lucien nodded. We rounded another corner to reach the last corner leading to my office. Lucien suddenly stopped in front of one of the doors. The plaque that had once said Vice President Peter Vector had been removed. The door was halfway open, and I could see a few workers moving boxes around the room. One of them saw us, bowed his head, and changed the name tag on the door to Vice President Lucien Glad. Another handyman dropped a heavy-looking box on the desk. A crunching sound was heard from within. Be careful with that. Mr. President, this move requires my personal attention. We shall discuss the Ashraf matter later. Good luck. Thank you. I entered my office and asked Sylvia for a second cup of coffee to wake me up. Another long day was waiting for me. My first playthrough, I got cooed by Yosef. Really? That's possible? I arrived at the city of Vesord with my new vice president, Lucien, after receiving an emergency meeting request from Yosef and Lilias. I had seen the reports of a recent issue that arose between the Sword's police forces and the Gendarmerie units under the city. The report said that an operation against a drug trafficking gang in Vesord failed due to miscommunication. It's not hard to guess why this meeting was going to be about. We entered the city hall and made our way to the second floor. I could hear Yosef and Lilias' voices echoing through the hall. I opened the doors to the meeting room. The two ministers did not even realize. This is unacceptable! How dare the police meddle in the affairs of the Gendarmerie? It was your men who started this ridiculousness and meddled with an ongoing police investigation. Their voices were getting louder and louder. Rural security is my jurisdiction, and your men were way outside of Vesord. Mr. Lantz, Miss Graf, please remain calm. What is the problem? Mr. President, Mr. Vice President, apologies. Miss Graf here fails to understand her place. No, Mr. Lancia. You are the one who does not understand his place. If you continue to do so, you will pay for it one day. Slam the table. That's enough. Calm down, both of you. Don't worry. We will solve this conflict of interest. I am trying really hard to stay calm, Mr. President. Ms. Graff, you are pushing your boundaries. Please, explain what happened. Mr. Gracia was tasked with the investigation of a drug trafficking ring in downtown Vesord. We found the evidence of a drug stash located in the outskirts of the city. We had to act quickly to put an end to the criminals we had been watching for some time. So we immediately sent our police units to catch them and find the drugs in the compound. Mr. Lancia and his Gendarmerie did not notify us that they were also moving against the same target. As a result, criminals got away and we lost months of progress. You went out of your jurisdiction to pursue these criminals. So, the Gendarmerie meddled and caused the raid to fail. Isn't there a line of communication between you? One, she went out of her jurisdiction. I thought we were starting to fold the Gendarmerie into the or am I wrong? Am I thinking about it wrong? No, I thought we were. I thought we had started to fold the Gendarmerie and the armed forces. I thought we were folding it all together, weren't we? Weren't we? We were. So they should be communicating then, yeah. Isn't there a line of communication between you? There is. But the Minister of Defense decided to avoid notifying the police department about the planned raid. The same could be said about you because the reports show that you knew about the gang and their stash in the countryside. How do we solve this issue so that it never happens again? What I hear is that you're both incompetent. You're getting nowhere. We need to find a middle ground. I think this was the last drop. Internal security matters should be handed to the Ministry of Interior completely. We are called the Ministry of Interior for a reason. We can't let any more screw-ups like this happen again. I want the Gendarmerie to be transferred to the Ministry of Interior. What? Woman, are you out of your mind? Yosef turned red with anger. He composed himself after a moment. Looking at it from the perspective of improving our internal security, I agree with Miss Graff. We would reap the benefits in the long run. Look, Mr. Galad, I know you are new at this, and there is much that you were not briefed about, but... Mr. Lancer, you are forgetting who I am. Ridiculous.
That is absolutely ridiculous. I won't hand over Gendarmerie to her. Out of the question.
Why? Because it makes sense? I agree. The Gendarmerie has been part of the Ministry of Defense for years. Do you have a better solution, Yosef?
Whenever operations overlap, we should engage at the lower rank with the local officers on both sides.
We could work on establishing that, but it still doesn't change the wrong system that exists now. I want to remind you about your promise, Mr. President. That was before the screw-up. Now remember it very well. Don't you worry. Yes, but my decision hasn't been made yet. What promise? I don't remember any promises I made. So wait, we promised to, if I remember correctly, we promised to fold the Gendarmerie into internal affairs, right? That was the original promise. That was it, right? I remember it very well. Don't you worry. That is relieving.
What promise? Now I see what is going on here.
What do you mean? Nothing is going on. Enlighten us. What is going on here, Yosef?
Lily set us up to create this incident.
Lilius bit her lips.
What proof do you have? There is no way that the police arrived at the right time. A month-long search, the exact day and minute of the Gendarmerie raid.
You may be right. This is conspiracy theory territory. Let us take it down a notch with the accusations. This kind of an accusation is unheard of. It's nonsense. If I were you, I wouldn't believe a word Mr. Melancia says, Mr. President.
Heed my word, Mr. President. When dealing with these situations, you need to always look at who gets what out of it.
I won't stand idle by these utterly ridiculous and baseless accusations. I don't have time for this. What is your decision? The Gendarmerie will be transferred to the Ministry of Interior. There will be no change related to the Gendarmerie operations. Interior it goes.
You are making a mistake.
Thank you for being a man of your word. was the right call to establish a modern internal security structure. I want those criminals to be caught immediately. From now on, work together and don't fight among each other. I want capable and effective members of cabinet. There are bigger issues at hand that need attention. Focus on them instead of each other. Well, this might create some problems. We will do our best, right, Mr. Lancia?
That's right, Miss Graf.
I left the room to attend my next scheduled meeting. Graf is like Umbridge from Harry Potter. I'm sorry, I don't read bad children's books written by crazy feminists. I had a meeting scheduled with Pascal to receive the annual healthcare report. He arrived in my office with a stack of papers underneath both arms.
Mr. President.
He put the mountain of papers on my desk, made a loud thud sound.
I know this sounds like a lot.
Reviewing it shouldn't take more than a day. He measured the pile again. Oh, maybe 2. That sounds just great. Yeah, maybe. Very well. Thanks for bringing these in. They contain very important information about the status of our healthcare. Salaries, expenditures, hospital reports, whatever you like. We can go through this together. But I don't want to bore you, so I will quickly summarize. I breathed a sigh of relief as he put his reading glasses to look at his document he's holding. So we have concluded our report for the year. Thanks to the allocated funds, we have improved the healthcare of the country overall. I've used the resources to begin a comprehensive health reform. We have more patients treated, less waiting times, and higher treatment quality than the years before. It's great to hear. Thank you for your hard work, Pascal. Just as I expected, it was a good decision to spend the budget on the healthcare. Good. Under my presidency, I want Swordish people to have the best health service they can get. There can't be a more valiant aim. The foundations we laid so far will influence the years to come. We are certainly on the right path to challenge even Lesbia or Valexland as a matter, but we are not there yet. However, give it a few more years and we might even surpass them. We can't simply follow the footsteps of other nations. I agree. We need to pave our own path to a better healthcare for our citizens. Moving on. Pascal skimmed the rest of the document before putting it down. The investments we poured into our rural health facilities paid off greatly. The quality of care increased due to the upgraded equipment, and we were able to hire more healthcare staff. Excellent. We'll people in the countryside deserve better health services. Inequality is our worst enemy, and we are one step closer to beating it. Make sure they know that we were the ones who gave this. Okay, 3 is a little fucking cold. 3 is kind of fucked up. You're only alive because we... Like, that's some dictator shit. Yes, they've been neglected for a long time due to political reasons. Not anymore. All these efforts have resulted in a clear increase of quality in health services provided to our citizens. Now that I have given you this short summary, there is a very important matter to discuss. Leaning over to grab his briefcase, he pulled out a tan-colored package. The package was stamped with a big red letter that read, "Confidential." Pascal opened the package and brought out a few documents. He handed them over to me. I took the documents from his hand. It was a report from the Ministry of Health. Each page had a stamp on it that read, "For the President's eyes only." The report was titled, "Polio Outbreak in Bergia." Now, it seems to be under control. It put a few villages under quarantine. The total number of infected is currently 1,467. The death toll is at 23 so far. If we have more outbreaks, then the results will be terrible. Thankfully, we have received the additional funding to our healthcare. This should curb the infection ratio. Though I am afraid even that might not be enough. This is a very serious matter, Mr. President. The lives of Sorge citizens are at stake. What can we do about it? We've done our research. There's a cure. A vaccine was recently invented in United Cortana, and the formula has been made available for free across the entire world. No matter what people think about United Cortana, if the same thing happened in Arcasia, we'd be paying a steep price for it. Thanks to the very good decision made by you to increase funding for our healthcare, we have the capability to produce the vaccine locally. But I'm afraid simply having the vaccines won't help. We need to make sure they are administered. We need to implement a nationwide mandatory polio vaccine policy. With your order, I can immediately get to work to ensure we are doing whatever it takes. This might seem excessive, however. It is absolutely necessary. Whatever it takes to protect Swordland, do it. Let's observe the situation first. We'll be fine without it for now. I'll give you a moment. One or two. Fuck. Spilling shit. That's all good. heard nothing. Alright, so spend money. Protect Swordland. I was about to ask, like, isn't polio caused by, like, rat poop? Or am I thinking something else? In fact, I'm gonna look it up. Polio. Pretty sure it's, pretty sure it's caused by rat poop. Unclean food. Are you sure? Pretty sure it's caused by rat poop. Process. Fecal oral route. Poliovirus. No, it is. Yep, this is exactly what I thought it is. This is caused by rats. No, cholera is different. Now you're making me stop and look things up. Polio occurs naturally only in humans. It is highly infectious and is spread from person to person, either through fecal oral transmission, i.e. poor hygiene or ingestion of food or water contaminated by humans, or oral route. Ew, that's even worse. I thought it was like rodent. Ew. Ew. That's actually worse. Wash your fucking hands. Okay, so yeah. Yeah, I'm thinking of the other one. But yeah. Polio is like wash your fucking hands and don't be gross and disgusting. Now, if you'll excuse me, I must get to work immediately. He got up from his seat. Thank you for your time, Mr. President. Welfare state. What is that? Achievement unlocked. Welfare state. There's no description. I assume it's just this, but yeah. He left my office, leaving me alone with a lot of paperwork to go through. Oh boy. Let's get this one over with. Let's fucking get this one over with. As I stepped through the front door of our stately residence, a sense of tranquility washed over me. The house was quiet, almost too quiet, without Frank blasting his music from upstairs. I entered the grand study and let the warm glow of the room envelop me. Monica was sitting by the fireplace with a very old-looking book in her hands. I took a seat in the armchair next to hers. "Oh, I didn't realize you were home." Her voice was cold as she spoke. I decided to stay silent. We both sat by the fireplace in stony silence. Just then we heard the patter of small feet approaching the study. Diana appeared at the door with a piece of folded paper clutched in her hand. "Mama, Papa, my school report came in." Monica and I immediately turned our attention to her, our curiosity piqued. "That's my girl. I can't wait to hear about it." "Very well, bring it here and let's assess your progress together." "Oh no, not the dreaded report." Wait for her to continue. Diana unfolded the paper and gave it to me. "I was so close to the top of the class." I heard a mix of pride and disappointment in her voice. "That's incredible, Diana. You've worked hard and it shows." "Almost doesn't count, honey. Sounds like you've got to try harder." "Congratulations, my girl. But you know I'd love you even if you got bad grades, right?" "It's great to hear. I wish your brother had your brains." "Oh my, we've got a genius in the house. Watch out, world. Holsard's #2 student is on the loose." "4? That's great to hear. I wish your brother had your brains. But didn't she like Frank? I don't know if that's a good idea." Hmm. 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 4? 1? Really? Oh, okay. We can be nice to our daughter. "That's incredible, Diana. You've worked so hard and it shows." Diana smiled. "You did great, darling. I'm so proud of you." She knelt down and gathered Diana into her arms. "I know. but I still feel kind of bad. I'm sure I would have been at the top if I'd done better in handicrafts. But those classes are so boring. And then there's that stupid blonde boy, Marcus. He never even studies, but the teachers always give him higher grades than everyone else. Don't call him stupid, baby. Who is this Marcus? I told you about him, Mummy. Marcus Clavin, the one who can't even do basic math, remember? Wait, did you just say Clavin? Mother's right, Diana. Forget about it. You've already done great. Oh, really? Maybe I should have a talk with your school. Oh, shit. From the mouths of babes. Yes, that's his last name. Actually, I may know his father. Interesting. Anyway, it doesn't matter, Diana. You've already done great. Don't mind that kid. Oh, really? Maybe I should have a talk with your school. You never made Clavin a VP in 2.0. I will look into this. And shit talk though. Alright. Can I just say this amongst present company right now? You're here. I'm here. Because I bought this game randomly on a whim, and then I installed it, and I started to stream it, and then we all met each other. It's a weird, wild, interconnected internet world that we live in. That's it. I just wanted to say that. Because I'm seeing you talk about like doing different things with the 2.0 patch, and it's funny to me because I'm like, really? We're already going down routes that haven't been explored. By the way, in March there will be another mega update in DLC. Yes, the Rizia? What is it? So one or four? One or four? Yeah, Rizia. I don't know how to pronounce it. Rizia. I'm just gonna call it Rizia because it sounds like Riz. Riz. Sticking out your gat from the Rizzler. Actually, I may know his father. Really? His father came to the school a couple times and shouted at the teachers. He did he? Looks like I have a lot of talking to do. Some people just have bad manners, darling. You shouldn't pay attention to them. Are you serious, sweetie? He did what? Oh, let her keep talking, huh? I already told you. Isn't that the one who challenged you for USB candidacy, Anton? Why is your party still filled with men like this? Just another male swordist politician, Monica. You know how it is. Come on, Monica. You know I can't control everything our members do. What's that supposed to mean? Yes, that's him. All right. Three. Why one? Probably. I mean, it wouldn't be the first or the only time that I've had a chaos maker in the chat. I mean, you've probably both met Sus Hild at this point. The one I call the Skinwalker. She's yeah, she's a bit of a fun one. Teenagers. Come on, Monica. You know I can't control everything our members do. Maybe you should have some control. This type of mana will only destroy the USB. Anyway. Okay. Back to fast reading. I think I'll continue the book, Anton. Alright, see you at dinner, Maka. Is there something wrong? Now? You know what? If there was an option 4, you know what I would want for an option 4? Calm down. If there's anything a man knows you don't do with an angry woman, tell her to calm down. Oh, no fist fight. No fist fight. We just walked out of the room. Yeah, to be honest, it would have been probably even better if we didn't give you advice, see you fail, and get a shred by 5 different crises. Hey, I didn't mean that in a bad way. Although it would have been funny. Actually, the honest thing is, I'd have probably done that. But here's the fun part. I wouldn't have done any of that on stream. And this right here is why I say that I like my community. Like this is a thing that I see people say all the time. Like they talk about like, oh, you're the fans, whatever. It's such an easy line. It comes off so easily off the tongue for people. Oh, you know, thank you for the fans, thank you for the fans. But when I say, you know, thank you all for tuning in, take her easy, whatever do you, I mean that. I really do mean that. Because at this point, I'm a nobody. But even if I had like 1,000 times the number of subs and everybody else, I'd still be the same me. I'd still be like, in fact, actually, I think it would be really worse for me if you took the number of subs I have right now and multiplied it by like 10, 100 even. Terrifying to me. Terrifying. I'd still be trying to do the same thing, but still, it would be just, yeah, it would be what it is. But the point is, I would be doing all of this on my own, offline, without any of the other stuff. I'd just be like obsessively clicking through things. Like, okay, well, okay, well, I don't know if I like that. I don't know if I like that, so let me just load last checkpoint and go back and do the Monica dialogue again. Let me just, okay, well, I didn't like that one. Let me just go back. No, I'm legitimately trying to just play the game for my entertainment and for everybody else's entertainment. That's what I'm doing here. What the fuck is the less smoke bill? The Assembly passes an amendment to the tax bill in 1944 in order to increase tax revenue and reduce excessive amount of tobacco consumption. Oh, of course, the government. The government never met taxes that it didn't. Now, it could make it illegal, but that wouldn't be tax revenue. 10% tax on tobacco packages, 30% tobacco products, plus one government budget. Sure. Money, 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 money. Money. Budget spending. Scholarship. Medical school. Eye tests. Dental care. Don't spend. Schools? Really? Okay, schools. Support Ashraf anniversary. Remembrance rally in the Ashraf is about to begin at Ezrin. The British movement is holding a large rally at display the demands and strength. Due to the active BFF in the area, the security detail advises take caution. The administration can go to Israel to support the event or without contrary attended at all. I don't like that. I want to attend, but I don't want to go in. We've been doing some very heinous things. I don't like the idea of going in without guards. Because I think a lot of the supposed terrorists, if there be British terrorists, of course, if there be British terrorists, if if such a thing exists, then like one of the last things we want to do is go into what the angry right-wing media would call the heart of British terrorism. Yeah, we're going in with the armored convoy. Why not? Let's do it. On our way to Inner Ezrin, we stopped to meet with the local police chief, Jonas Fisser, to discuss how the abolishment of the zone was faring for the locals. Worst decision I could have done. Really? Can I go back? Here's the last checkpoint. Then I just won't go. Haha, how about that? Shouldn't have said anything. Too late! Shouldn't have said anything. You done goofed. Unless you're playing some sort of double. Could have simply gone without the tanks, really? Wait, how armored? Did it say how armored those things were supposed to be? Did it say how armored we were going in? Active BFF in the area. Security detail advises take caution. Report it in an event without an armored convoy attended at all. See, I think I like this game, but I think it's not clear on a lot of these things because I did not assume tanks, because you're saying tanks. I don't see tanks here, and I would have never assumed tanks. Armored escort, in my mind, for a presidential convoy is like basically slightly hardened. So, you know, protected limousine is going to be standard, right? Standard limousine with vehicles with armed special forces, security, presidential escorts inside them. Like, armored would be something like, I don't know, like maybe like a couple of armored Humvees or something like that. I'm not thinking tanks. I'm not thinking tanks. The 10s is just, you see, again, that's what I'm just saying. It's like, it's so confusing. I mean, I'm not attacking or blaming anyone. It's just like, I want to say, I don't know what the origin of this is, given that it seems to be a very well, it's an indie game, and I love it. I love it so much. I'm just saying, it's confusing at times. It really is. So basically, default is armored car, military escort. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly. Okay, thank you. Let's cause chaos. Yes, I reload just so that I can go with maximum chaos. Even though I don't like those terrorist assholes. Fuck them. Wife beaters. They beat their wives. That the armored transport would have been the Sumologo. The chaos candidate. The city had been of particular importance to the British people ever since the Ism incident and the death of Tanayasif over 2 decades ago. Today, we were here to commemorate the anniversary of those events. Ceremonies were about to be held in the aptly named Amazon Square, several blocks away from Lake Saul and the sunken ruins of Villageism. We entered the historic center of the presidential cotilla. The streets were littered with broken glass and the walls defaced with graffiti. I sensed a heavy regional police presence. Our convoy could barely get through the narrow-fit streets, disrupting local traffic and creating noise and chaos in the usually tranquil city. Pedestrians stared at us with concerns as we secured. I must say this was a good decision, sir. This will help ease tensions. Yes, but I'm still worried about our safety. It is certainly risky. But if we manage to win some hearts today, it will be worth it. We are almost there. I can hear the crowd. I heard the chants and shouting around side, and Lucien leaned closer to the window, listening to their voices. They're telling us to go back where we came from. A large crowd had assembled in the square. There were probably at least 10,000 people. Most of them were yelling insults in the vicinities of me. Our convoy slowed down. A young bluish man ran in front of our vehicle and spat in my window. I did not do anything. Our vehicle came to a stop. My driver exited the vehicle and opened the door for me. The crowd before me had signs in their hands protesting my decision to centralize Persia. We were greeted by Monsoon Leke. He wore a coat over his suit. Well in trade and language aren't popular. Welcome, Mr. Ezrin, Mr. President. It looks like I am not welcome here, Mr. Balek. No need for pleasantries. I want this over as quickly as possible. Take his hand and raise it in display of unity. Take his hand.
Mr. Leke.
Mr. Glad, welcome. Shall we move on to the sanctuary then?
Let's go.
We made our way to the Suzerain sanctuary, which stood at the end of the square. A much smaller replica of the actual sanctuary in there. The ancient building had a mill and back in walls. We walked, noise that faded out, everything fell. Thousands of candles burning. One person died in some. Ooh, okay. Don't do too. I already assumed as much. I think the red candle is supposed to be their prophet or martyr or whatever else. It's a religious symbolism. We are the other candles. The red candle is the important one. He picked up the candle for Arshif and started walking out. Many others followed suit, including us. The atmosphere outside had completely changed. Not a single noise came from the crowd. We slowly walked towards Arshif's grave. Away, hundreds of people joined us. Someone from the crowd shouted at me, breaking the silence.
Don't mock the dead, you racist dog! You're defiling that candle in your hand!
I ignored the man and kept walking. When we arrived, he pointed at a huge standing torch above the grave. Sounds stupid, but the intro decision to escort refugees alone. Leave the candle, light the torch with him. We lit the torch together. I turned around and realized the sheer amount of people who were following us. They were all looking at me, waiting to hear what I would say. Brothers and sisters, my fellow citizens, free people of Bludia. I don't like that third one. Don't like 3? Oh yeah, we're already folding the free zone, so no. So it's 1 and 2. I'm leaning towards 2 then. One is the rather religious option? Well, let's go with it then. We are here to mourn Watari and many others who have lost their lives. We are here to mourn those who tragically lost their lives in Nizam. I'm glad I started this early. It's already 8 o'clock. And we're almost at the 3-hour mark. Well, we're at the 2.5-hour mark anyway. We'll go with 1. I am not standing before you today as the president. I am standing here as one of you. They are brave men and women who only want to protect their land. I condemn them the events that led to the loss of these lives. I mean, technically, I agree with all of these, but if it's as a statement, I'm thinking 1. Actually, maybe 2. 2, maybe. And again, 1 or 2, probably. We'll get 1. Despite attempts to divide us, our people will stand as one. We are sword, we are blood, we are all united under one flag. Also, Baron, didn't you say, like, if not the last stream, the stream before it, did you not say you were not going to give any more hints? And yet, here you are, giving hints. You just can't help yourself, can you? I mean, besides the obviously fun ribbing, I don't care. I'm not gonna hold you to anything. Yeah, you forgar. Yeah, you forgar. I'm not gonna hold you to it though. As I so frequently say, we're just here to have fun. So I'm not gonna make you swear it on a fucking blood oath. There are few times in my life that I've ever sworn on something, but trust me, when I ever actually have sworn on something, well, that's a whole other conversation. But yeah, you said I'm pretty sure you said after the point where we passed the new constitution, you were not going to give more hints. Again, I'm not going to hold you to it. I don't care. I'm having fun, and it's already far too late. Even if we go back and forced you to remember that, it's far too late. Hatred and anger. No. Mend the wounds. We're all in one flag. Unity. Mending the wounds. With one. Your flag, your nation. Why would I feel ashamed? You cannot claim that you supported us after trying to kill our language. You supported murderous Smolak in his crusade against our people. You denied entry to innocent refugees. You are responsible for the deaths of thousands. There was a moment of complete silence, and the whole crowd erupted. Lucian looked at me worriedly. People started coming closer and closer to us, chanting, "You look, Lurat!" Lucian grabbed my shoulder. "We must leave. Now!" We should have brought the tanks. We should have brought the fucking tanks. Fuck them all. Open up with the 50 cals. Let's go. You know what? Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. No? The convoy started driving away as soon as we were seated. The windows of the vehicles are completely covered with rotten vegetables, eggs, and paint by the time we finally left the city. It's really stupid that you got screwed by intro decision for the second time. Well, yeah, that's the nature of the game, though, isn't it? Well, we're locked in now. I didn't save exploit. I walked into the White Room with a cup of coffee in my hand. My vice president had scheduled a meeting on the current political situation. Actually, 8 o'clock, isn't it? So, I mentioned this earlier. There is a major re-release theatrical event where Dune 1986. Is it 1986? Sorry, I'm just gonna exit the game here and ramble a little bit. It's 1986, isn't it? Dune, David Lynch. $1984. Really? Wow. Okay, so it's being shown on the big theaters today. There's a couple of showings in our area. It's a limited release, so it's only today. I think it's only today, actually. There's 2 showings in our area. But yeah. So, if it were any other day, I wouldn't really be that much concerned about going to sleep because I get nothing going on a Sunday. But other than that, thank you guys for making it so. I'm not saying good night tonight. Tonight. I don't know. Who wants to hang out and keep talking? Dio. What's up, Dio? How you doing? How you doing? The other being the Agnolia deal because he just didn't study history. Lurked a bit. Yeah, I'm getting used to that. I'm getting used to that. By the way, I see you guys lurking. It shows up on the graphs, even though I'm like, who the fuck is watching me? And then I'm like, oh, okay, well, I guess I'm gonna go to bed. And then it's like, oh, okay, good night. And I'm like, oh shit, yeah, apparently there was a person watching the stream the whole time. Anyway, where was I? I don't know. I lost my train of thought. Um, yeah, David Lynch. David Lynch movie. Dune. If you're in America today, there's a limited theatrical showing of the movie from 1984. I reminded my best friend last week, considering it's Sunday. Yeah, it's last week. It's gonna happen. I told him like last month. I'm like, I heard about this. I need to see it. I want to see this live on a big movie theater screen. I am excited, actually. If I could have a wish of mine granted, it would be I have like a theater and I could put any movie I want on it forever. Actually, I'd split it between two. I need two theaters. So one is a movie that I want to see, or any movie randomly. The other theater is just like random movies that aren't currently popular or new release or being played. Sort of like a perpetual retro thing. D Wednesday Conference is also a great movie from 1984. HBO remade 28 called Conspiracy. There is a remake from 2022, which is absolute dog shit. Really? What is that? What's that about? Die. Da once con vendrense. Die. Die ones con friends. The one con friends. Well, not these days. No, obviously not. Hmm? Secrets of meeting of Nazis in 1946. or, uh, or as the left believes it, people talking about things on Twitter in 2024. um, I don't know. Who wants to keep talking? Let me put it to a vote. I'll put it in an interesting way actually. And let me 3 exams end of the month. All right, fair enough. Fair enough. Good luck. Best of luck. Like I told Sumi earlier, have a plan B. All right, no seems to be winning. All right, all right, I'm okay with that. I was already trying to go to bed anyway. I just wanted to see what the reaction would be. All right, you hooligans. Sorry. Trying to pop my back. Oh, there it is. There it is. Oh, good God. Oh, the pleasure of popping one's back. I'll see y'all out there and take her easy. Whatever you do.